see it knocked all the way out. That's just from doing her hair and playing around in it.
You got all the beads in.
As much as I could, yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, baby. Do my best. What up, y'all?
Hello, hello.
This is just a quick impromptu while we're getting everything together. But the video quality will be better and the position of the camera will be better later on, so forgive us for now. How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a good day. Hope everybody's alive and blessed. Yes, we are actually driving. I had to go take care of the wife. Her body's not hurting. You know, when a pregnant woman says she's in pain, you gotta take care of her. So yeah, now that her body's okay, we getting food. How you doing? I'm alright. Davis.
What can I get free?
She said everything. What do you want?
I want lemonade.
Thanks so much.
So, this lady wrote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I crazy to require him to buy us a house? Right? So she's 35 weeks pregnant with her first child, right?
Okay.
She lives and works in Michigan.
Okay.
And she wants to remain there with her kid. And her partner wants her and the child to live with him and his teenager in Chicago, right?
Okay.
And his family is there, his job is there, and then her family is there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The relationship is healthy. Everything's great in between them. She would love to live with him, is what she says, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, she doesn't desire to quit her job and move to live in a 2-bedroom bachelorish apartment with him, a newborn, the teenager, and a cat. Right?
Bachelor-ish.
That's what she called it. She
Apartment?
said bachelorish apartment. Yeah, so it's a 2-bedroom, so it's not like bachelor, but she said bachelorish apartment, right? With a newborn teenager and a cat. And then I guess she brought it up with him because she said he mentioned that buying a house this year is a bit ahead of his plans.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he wants his family to move to Chicago with him. Oh, her thing is, if he wants her and the kid to move to Chicago with him, then he should buy a house.
In Chicago.
He should buy a house to accommodate the comforts to move in together before she quit her job and move. However, he already lives there. His family, friends, his job is there.
Yeah.
He has to.
Davis? Yes. Yep. And it's a #1 deluxe with a chocolate chip cookie. Yep.
Large fry.
Yep.
I'll have it right out for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, honestly,
She says, is she being
unreasonable.
is that the word? Yeah, pretty much. Is she crazy for requiring him to buy a house before she leaves?
Yes and no. Honestly, I honestly say yes and no only because it's a little too much, especially if. Thank you so much. You too. I would say it's too much, especially since he's actually planning to do something like that already. You know, if he was slouching on it and didn't have any type of plan towards getting a house for them, then I would say yes, she has all right to say that. But he said to her, it's not in the plans right now, which means within the next year he will be moving us into a house.
Or it means that he didn't plan on doing it this year, but
it's something he's already exactly. So that's why I say yes and no. So if I'm being really, really straight, flat out honest, I say no. Yes, she's dead wrong. She's crazy for it because he's already said to her, this is something I want to do. In a sense, you know? It's not like it's a discussion that never came up before. It sounds like a discussion that they've already had before. And it's maybe been put off a few times because he's probably said the same thing. Like, hey, it's not the time for that. Or in his head, he's already formulated, okay, with me doing this amount of work or with me doing this, that, and the third, it won't fit in until this time frame. But then again, he's probably reconsidered the possibility, okay, she's going to be working, she has her job, blah, blah, blah. You don't know. But I say if he's already making plans with you, then you're dead wrong for jumping the gun like that.
My thoughts.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting.
I think she's giving him an ultimatum and not being considerate of the fact that if she were to leave, the fact that the man wants her and his child to move, and it's not like he's alienating her from friends and family. She has her parents there, right? She has her family there. His family's there, his friends there, his kid is there. I feel like she should be happy that he's not trying to pick up and leave his kid. You know?
Precisely.
He's bringing her into, which means, like, to me, he's not trying to say, oh, I want
Separate families.
separate from the family I have established already.
Yeah.
He wants them together, right?
Yeah.
And he's probably thinking, since he's been through this before and he has a kid, and clearly his kid lives with him, he knows the expenses that comes with a kid, or around what it would be. So his mindset is probably, okay, you move here. I know we're going to be shelling out a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't be in the budget to get a house at this time period
Mm-hmm.
because you will not be working. It will just be on me.
Yeah.
And I can already afford where I currently live.
Exactly.
So
And
with
even
me being able
with-
to afford where we live
Mm-hmm.
and being able to take care of my teenager, you and the child, as well as myself,
Mm-hmm.
we can work towards
The house.
that without putting undue stress on it.
So
But I feel like she was giving an ultimatum: if you want me to move, you gotta give me a house.
and I didn't want to say the whole ultimatum part, honestly, because that word to men is one of the worst sticks of dynamite you can ever throw in any type of situation. And giving us an ultimatum makes us feel like, oh, this is a forced situation. If it doesn't happen, then this is the end of the world on her end. She's just gonna, everything's gonna collapse at that point.
And then if he ends up getting her in a house just because he loves her and he wants her to come,
Yeah,
it may turn into resentment
exactly.
if he can't afford to pay everything.
Exactly.
And then it'll be a whole problem. Then why you moved us into this house if you couldn't pay for it? That's what you wanted.
Exactly.
And I wanted to give you what you wanted.
Exactly.
A ring. He's saving up for a ring, and he can't buy your house right now.
Save up for the ring and the wedding and whatnot. You don't know, because yeah, we men may not look like planners sometimes, but we do plan. Yes, like Owen says, most of us don't look like planners. But you'd be surprised how much we actually do plan. You'd be surprised how much goes on in a man's head on a daily, you know. Especially when it comes.
you all love somebody, you all really think about everything in your own details, and it makes complete sense to you.
It does.
And we're just like, yo, what is he doing? But it
Because
makes sense to you.
we factor in different types of logic, honestly. We factor in situational logic, you know, her happiness meter, you know, the kid's happiness meter, things like that. We always weigh those things. And that's why it seems like we're always just off in space, when in reality, we're floating right here on Earth. It's just dazed out. Like, our minds are always thinking about, okay, how am I going to make this bill, you know, disappear? Or what can I do to make sure that she doesn't stress about when the next bills are coming, or, you know, when is her next nail appointment, things like that. Yeah, we do think about that. But
This
But-
needs to happen.
I know. That's why I said it. But, you know, it's even things like that. The fact that we actually do think about things like that. We try not to stress about it. Why it looks like we don't think about it, you know. We know this is going to be a constant thing. We know it's going to be something that's there and it's going to come back. It's a reoccurring thing. We know this. But we don't stress ourselves. We try not to stress ourselves, because if we're stressed, that shows on her. And if it shows on her, it's going to be going to her. If it goes to her, it comes all the way back to me tenfold, 20-fold, 30-fold as the man. So try not to stress it. But honestly, women think a lot more about situations and how it should go than men do. So, granted, our views may be, we view things differently as in the sense of the process, but our end results are the same. We're trying to work towards the same goal. So once we find that footing, we should be able to work it out. Between those two, I say, guys, talk. Just, sit down, talk it out. I mean, you're already together. Just work it out. Sit down and talk and see what's the best plan moving forward. If it's best to stay in the apartment for a short period of time, do that. If you've got the money to go ahead and put down on the house, go ahead. But it's at your pace, guys. Young lady, sit down and talk with her. It's that simple. Just talk to her. You're not wrong for thinking what you're thinking. But if you put down an ultimatum on him, you might lose him. Honestly, and this is coming from a man, you might lose him. Am I wrong?
I don't think I do ultimatums.
You don't. You absolutely don't do ultimatums. We sit down and talk. Most of our conversations or situations that we've had, we've been able to get through by talking. Even when we're mad at each other, we take a few moments, breathe, come back with a clear head and talk it out. Actually have a discussion about what makes sense in that situation.
The only thing is, if I have to get to the point where I have to give you an ultimatum, there's no point in me dealing with you.
Facts. I don't see the point in ultimatums. They just tear relationships apart. What's the point in giving an ultimatum? Meaning, you better do this or it's an end. You're basically telling me it's ending. So what's the point of the ultimatum?
I was reading that and it bothered me.
I understand. Trust me, I understand. Listening to it bothered me.
Because she was genuinely asking a question. Some people were just saying, "No, you're right." That was bothering me. Because then, of course, she's genuinely asking a question, but she wants people on her side. Then people are there saying that she's right for saying that, but I just feel like it's not like he said, "I know you're having my kid. Stay in Michigan, I'll stay over here." It was just parent from afar. He wants to be involved.
This is not one of those loser dad situations where it's
He's
just
not.
busting at and be done with you. No. He's actually trying to be a father.
And you have family
right there
right
in the
there
same vicinity.
with
They're
him.
not
He's
far
not alienating you.
at all. You can see your family. He can see your family. Both sides of the family can come see the children.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the problem? The fact that you're not...
She
Okay.
does her job, and she probably doesn't want to move into somebody else's house.
Understandable. Because maybe it's not going to have that feel that you're looking for.
Yeah, but if he wants you to move there, most likely he wants that feminine touch in the house. So his bachelor-ish home
Will become a home.
become the home that you made it.
That's the point of moving in together. To find the balance. The two of you have to coexist.
Yep, because
So
your stuff coming when you move out of your place.
Into the house. So why not have the grounds before the house to figure out how the pattern is supposed to go? I mean, life is an experiment. And each time you experiment, you learn something new. This is that experiment.
I don't know
Him
why
saying...
these fries are so thin.
Why they're so good? They're waffle fries, babe. But I mean, you're moving in is the first move in is an experiment to see what will work in the house. Like, you both are two different people. You have two different views on life, and the only way for you to find how those two views work together is to be in a space together. You know, he's got an apartment, 2-bedroom apartment, which allows him to have his kid in one room, you and him in another room, and the baby in the room with you. So
It's not that the baby gonna be in his own room automatically.
no, not out the jump, no.
You have a bassinet, put it up in the bed.
And by the time the kid's 1 year old, y'all can already have the house.
Be in a better financial situation.
Because you'd have your 6 weeks to recover in a place where
6 to 12.
6 to 12, sorry.
Or
In a
with her
place-
relocating. I mean, she don't have to find doctors.
You'd have more than enough help with him being there to be able to do all that. Especially since he's telling you.
And the teenager might want to be there
That-
for the younger sibling. It's a
Exactly.
teenager. You have a built-in babysitter.
Exactly. What are you? You're completely overthinking this.
Built-in babysitter, your parents, his family. You got it made.
For real. Now, let's just put it like this. We were going to take the hard road and just grind it out. But 2 heads are better than one. Came to an agreement. Like I said, an agreement. And chose to come closer to family.
And I was completely against it in the beginning.
But it worked out so much better for us in the sense of we are not hurting as far as financially from this move. It probably was more
It was
financially
rough in the beginning.
beneficial
It was rough
after
in the
the
beginning.
move. Yes. It was very rough in the beginning. Oh, Lord.
But then, it got much better.
And that's because we have friends and family close by.
Yeah.
Family that didn't have problems driving to where we are now versus where we were before. So it did work out much better for us to be closer to family.
And with the whole situation with COVID, we couldn't have foreseen that would happen.
And let's just say that was just God saying,
I
get
told y'all
out.
to move.
Because we were up north, we probably would have been hit immediately. Because, let's be real, we were right below New York. And New York was one of the first major states to get hit with it. It was California and then New York.
Well, that's how it went.
It was California and New York. Because remember, a lot of the flights from overseas fly into Cali and New York. A lot of those overseas flights come in straight to Cali, New York first. And from there, they actually board other planes to other states. But,
I don't pay that much attention.
oh, Cali, New York, Florida, Texas, like, all the major states are the ones that fly out people, so fly out to other countries. But yeah, we were in Ohio, and not too long after COVID hit,
Cleveland
we
was-
moved what, like a whole 6 months before, like a whole 6 or 7 months before, because like not too long after we moved, like 3-4 months after, that's when we actually went back and did the research. Just about November, December is when the first signs of COVID struck New York, California, and Ohio. So, yeah.
I actually ate a whole thing of fries. And it was large. I didn't use no ketchup or anything.
When you're eating for two, you gotta eat, man.
I mean, for me, he just happened to get something, by the way.
By the way, yeah, right. But yeah, I just feel like that's a situation for him and her to deal with, to talk about, and to come to a full-on agreement about. The only time I feel it's necessary to air something like that out, yeah, it's not even that personal, but a lot of people can pick up on subtle hints from things like that. I would have aired something a lot less, more personal than that out. But for the sake of relationships and for the sake of love, go talk to him, please. That's a good dude. Like, for real. He's already got the plans laid out. The foundation is just sitting there waiting for you to come with him so he can raise it up into a full building. That's all it is. You're the final piece to create this whole house. Don't be the difficult piece that actually makes the house fall apart. Please don't. But yeah, it's just a short video to introduce us. The Davis is here saying hi. The little lady back there is knocked out. Got to doing a little bit of her beads thanks to her mom showing me how to do it. I actually got a few of those beads on and let her run around the house a little bit, or the room. And she's knocked out with her little skinny popcorn in her lap. But yeah, hoping everybody has a great day. We love you, and we'll be continuing this a little later on. Probably going through some budget stuff and family stuff here and there. But just
Karaoke.
Oh yeah, karaoke.
We love karaoke.
Especially that one. She's the karaoke queen right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, keep us in your prayers. Keep watching. Subscribe, notifications, and make sure you hit that bell so you get all the videos when they actually come up. Because it's not an if, it's a when. It's not an
Let
if.
us know what you think about the situation. Do you think she was being
Unreasonable,
or am I just thinking like a dude?
I got lucky, guys. She's awesome like that. Anyway, guys.
Bye.
Love y'all. Peace.